Today, when Dr. Mantis visited the imprisoned adanauts, he had 2 small objects for each of them and a handwritten note. With an adhesive, he methodically affixed the narrow packages on the underside of each of the metallic tables in their cells. Several of them questioned what the packages contained, and the doctor only responded, "On host day, when the buzzer sounds twice after lunchtime, read the letters or interpret the imagery contained upon them, and immediately do exactly as instructed. Nothing more, nothing less." Hose Day was the term Dr. Mantis gave to the 12-day periodic bacterial showers that the prisoners attended together. The adanauts trusted the doctor, and were all anxious to see how the plan would be executed. None of them had much detail to the plan, and nobody knew what roles they would play. The doctor assured all of them that the plan had been incredibly well thought out, and barring any unforeseeable situations or complications, it should go off without a hitch. The final visitation of the day was with Adam. The doctor sat on Adam's table for the visitation. After securing the package under the table, he began. "Adam, the day is close. Closer than it may feel. You will get to see and meet your new family of accomplices within days." Adam sat more closely as his excitement began to mount. "What are we looking at here, Doc?" Adam questioned. "Will this be violent? Stealth-like? Either, neither, or both? I want to be prepared to do my part. Please, tell me something," Adam begged. Dr. Mantis chuckled in his awkward high pitch. "I assure you, Adam, this is going to be one of the greatest moments in the history of mankind. And when we return to our loved ones and our places in time, it will be your story to tell." The doctor, realizing he omitted a piece of information, sat closer to Adam and explained. "Adam, one thing to understand about these creatures, both those of whom were transformed and the others that were born as these abominations, is that, in addition to the eyes, the emotions are worn on the lips and not the sleeves. What I mean is that each race of being emotes through the shades of the tones of their lips. However, the tonal changes are not consistent across the species, as each have different tones that may represent different emotions. For those with Alvin's characteristics, the lips may darken when angered, and those that have Chester's complexion may lighten under the same duress and anger. You only can discover these through experience and interaction with each race before you can know yourself what the tones mean. Your next and final team member and Aedonaut cohort is named Igor. Igor is Ukrainian and lived his life around the 17th century near Kiev. He was incredibly knowledgeable and interested in projectiles from a very young age. He suffered a terrible accident when he was only 10 years of age and lost sight in one of his eyes. The eyeball was destroyed, as was the tissue surrounding it. His plight left him in a precarious position when he was transformed into his current alien version, as one of the races is equipped with only a single eye. I suppose through default, Igor became this, the doctor explained. A mental image of Igor is transmitted into Adam's mind. Igor basically looks like a purple grape with one sizable eyeball on the top of his head. His mouth is very compact, as is the rest of his structure. Igor is approximately the height and weight of an average 8-year-old human. The race of alien is typically uncoordinated and performs poorly in physical exertion trials. Dr. Mantis was able to identify with Igor for this. Dr. Mantis continued providing detail about Igor's background. Adam, Igor and his father are considered to be founding fathers of the modern-day Aedonaut. They were the first to organize and develop training programs, which would ultimately be adopted as the phenomena of alien encounters and invasion became more prevalent. The word adonaut comes from the name of Igor's mother, Ada, combined with the science of traveling through the air, aeronautics. Igor's father had collected years and years' worth of documentation of alien and human interactions. These documents spread over thousands of years, even back to the time of Zeke's primitive existence, where evidence found painted on walls was interpreted and documented. Igor and his father would comb through the volumes of material to try learning from the success and failures of the predecessors, who found themselves interacting with otherworldly beings. They would develop new ways of interacting with alien species that would be more effective based on those past accounts. The doctor explained. Most of the documentation they possessed thus preserved, and during my time in training and studying was kept in a vault in Munich during these days leading up to the Great War. Dr. Mantis continued. The father and son team also had an intrinsic understanding of ballistics and propulsion systems and began to experiment with flying machines in hopes of traveling beyond the Earth's atmosphere to confront these beings prior to the entry to our world. These technologies available to them at the time would not permit such advancement, but the alien species could sense that Earthlings would eventually be able to pierce the sky and exit the atmosphere and beyond. The aliens took action and plucked Igor from his human existence. His father was very sick at the time and suffered what is now known as dementia, and the aliens knew leaving him there would not be a direct threat.